to me, my eyes good, and it may find me when it should. A guiding wisdom, let me see. My highest good when it comes to me. I come to me, my highest good, and it may find me when it should. A guiding wisdom, let me see. My highest good when it comes. Here we go again. I come to thee, my highest good. What an affirmation. Then it may find me when it should. The guiding wisdom, let me see. My highest good when it comes. One more time. I come to thee, my highest good. Then it may find me when it should. The guiding wisdom, let me see. My highest good when it comes to me.
Good morning, CSL.
Good morning.
So Brenda is taking some wonderful time off with her wonderful family on this long weekend. Speaking of long weekend, this is of course Memorial Day, and I'd just like to take a moment to honor those military who have served and lost their lives so that we can enjoy a freedom such as this, walking into this building fearlessly and gathering and sharing our spirituality in our own truths right here. So, as I mentioned before, if you haven't had time to come up yet to the table and light a candle for prayer, and you'd like to, you can still come forward at any time you feel moved to during the service. We offer prayers at the candles every fourth Sunday, at the early meditation service, and at this regular service. You may also write a name or names on the board, as we will offer affirmative prayer for each name out loud as a group this morning during Lou's prayer. So I'd like to thank Cammie, our musician, for bringing the beautiful, sacred singing bowls and just raising the vibration into this room to such an ethereal level. I love them so much. Thank you. So a few announcements. Today we'll be sharing exceptional income, and it'll be towards the end of the service. So there's some, I think they're all neon green signs in the little pockets in the back of the chairs if you want a little more information about what that exceptional income is about. Okay. This Wednesday night, our service at 7 p.m. is our 5th Wednesday of the month, Motion of Devotion, and the Broad Books, Mr. and Mrs. Broad Books, also known as Brenda and Roy, will provide for all of you that choose to join a call and response group singing devotion of love. Okay, and so Mariah, will you bring the board up to the front now? Thank you. So it's time to settle in and begin our service with our statement. This center offers a path for awakening to the realization of oneness, open hearts, inspired life, empowered love. Our spiritual community welcomes all people to embrace oneness as the truth of our being. Together, we seek a world of love, peace, and abundance for all.
within my heart, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
And in this sacred silence, I invite you to join me in entering into that interior silence, that place where I know that there is only one power, one presence, one mind, one life, that God, Spirit, is all there is, the Creator and the creation, the indescribable infinity of all good. And in this place, I know that I am a part, that I am unified and am one with this power, this presence, this life, this energy, this love. And I am a co-creator of my life. And just as I am part and connected with this whole, perfect, and complete essence, I know that each and every one present is also connected with the all-goodness, the all-knowing, the joy, the happiness, the peace, the power, everything that God is, we all are. And at this time, I welcome that presence as I make myself even more conscious of that power, of that healing that is available, of that truth that sets everyone free to live a more fully fulfilled life through this power of love and peace and joy. This truth manifests as everyone's life, individually, uniquely, and each is guided and directed to their highest and greatest yet to be. And for the request on the board today, for the request in the prayer chest, as I say each name, I declare that there is a healing taking place right now, that the divine perfection is active right now in each life, that the fullness of Spirit is being revealed in peace, wholeness, harmony, health, prosperity. And I take each name into my heart, knowing that we are united together in this thing called life. Christopher, Sharon, Jim, Nolan, Mary, Christian, Cody, David, Angel, Brian, Kristen, Arthur, Christina, Renee, Richard, Evan, Forrest, Mary, Ken, the T. Clay family, Erica, Sarah, the Longwells, the Scotts, Lorette, Lizzie, Jerry, Pat, Tammy, Texas Gang, Sandra, Joy, Denny, Chris, John, Jane, Gayla, Gigi, Don, Lori, Raji, Yuli, Shanna, and any names that are still in your heart, and any of the secret desires of your own heart. For I know, as these names have been spoken, that the Spirit of God is being revealed in each life, that divine wisdom is moving through, and divine right action is happening, that each requester is being led to the highest and greatest good, that they know what to do and how to do it. For that healing is taking place right this moment. And as this is happening, I know that each one here is a blessing to themselves and to all they come in contact with. For today, we are blessed with the outpouring of love from everyone present. We are blessed by the volunteers, the musicians, the speakers, all giving themselves to the greater consciousness of us all as we come together, enjoying a higher consciousness of the truth of ourselves and each other. So I am very grateful for the truth and the power and the presence that is always available within. And I'm so grateful that this truth is immediately available. And it is right here, right now, manifesting, revealing itself in its perfection in each life. So I just release these words into the power of the law, knowing it is already so. It is already coming into fruition. And for this, I give grateful thanks as we join together and declare, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love. To the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper. Get ready, get ready, my soul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If anything is keeping you back from having a little spring in your step, a little joy in your life, please put your concerns, your worries in the prayer chest just to the bottom of the stairs to the left, right against the wall. And the practitioner will be doing affirmative prayer on your behalf this week. Through the portals of silence, the healing sun of wisdom and peace will shine upon you. Yogananda. To listen to the silence is to hear the heartbeat of the universe. Lawrence Overmeyer. And from Osho, listening to the eternal involves a silence within us.
God is within me. I am my way. All the wonders that I see, all the joy I have looked to others. I've looked far beyond the earth. I've been afraid of darkness, not knowing for sure which way to light. theme for April, if you've been attending, you probably know, is vulnerability. And so here's what I'm going to talk about today. First of all, vulnerability can be defined as accepting all the parts of me that are uncomfortable, distressed, messy. Second, there is a self within me, just like there is a self within you, that already accepts me as it accepts you, no matter what is going on in my life at any particular time, no matter how I'm showing up. Third, you and I, we can learn to see ourselves in this world in the same way that that self already sees us, with acceptance, kind-heartedness, and compassion. And finally, number 4, there's a practice we can use called loving kindness meditation that helps us to consciously reconnect with that self within as a source for courage and strength. So let's get started. The definition I learned for vulnerability in school made me completely disinterested in ever being vulnerable. Because I learned that vulnerable means to make myself open to harm, open to attack. Who wants that? I don't think it was a good thing at all. But there is another way to understand vulnerability. It can mean being willing to accept those parts of me that are messy, uncomfortable, those parts of me that are having a rough time. And instead of trying to get rid of them or shut them down or cover them over with positive thinking, to be compassionately aware of them as part of me. I mean, the reality is there are experiences in life, there are emotions in life that don't feel that good, but are still part of life. They're still an important part of being. You know, like breaking up, or loss, or unwanted change, or dreams that don't work out like you thought they might. And so vulnerability to me is accepting all the difficult and even painful feelings and experiences that come up in me while I'm going through those kinds of experiences or ones similar to them. You know, I might be sad through it. Accept it. I might be afraid through it. Accept it. I might be whatever it is, accept it. And accept it not to get stuck in it, but to witness what is going on tenderly as a way of experiencing wholeness. Vulnerability to me is about being as authentically myself as I can with whatever life is presenting at any given moment. Now, our teaching, The Science of Mind, speaks of a self in me. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holm, called it the friend within. There is a self within me, just like there is a self within you that sees beyond what I'm going through. I invite you to think of that self or that friend as the place or the seat of compassion within you. It's the part that is clear, calm, curious, connected, creative. And you and I can learn to sense that self at any time, just like right now. There is a seat of compassion in you and me. It's the part in you and me that is aware of wholeness, not just my wholeness, wholeness. No matter what is going on, even when I'm experiencing doubt or fear or shame, it within me doesn't change its opinion about me or about you. Even when things get messy, when I get messy, it within remains constant. And you and I, we can practice seeing ourselves in the same way that self within already sees us. And here's how I do it. You may have your own way. The first step is to notice or to observe my emotions as they're happening. For example, I might notice I'm feeling angry, or I feel sad, or I feel disconnected. Without analyzing it, where did it come from? Without doing anything about it, just notice it. It's like looking from the inside to the outside, in a way. You know, I was remembering a trip to Las Vegas. I went on the Ferris wheel there. I think it's called the High Roller. And it turns out it's the second tallest observation wheel in the world. And I really loved the experience because although I was in this busy, bright, loud city, I was in this bubble. I was in this container up in the sky. I was still part of the city, but not consumed by it. I was seeing it from this place, elevated. And I think of that when I'm trying to notice my difficult feelings. I try to observe them from this place within of compassion. And then the next step is to validate my emotions. And this is how I do it. You might have your own way. I talk to myself. I say gently to myself, just in the way that I imagine the friend within, the self within, would speak to me. I say to myself, you know, Edward, it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. It's all right. Whatever you're going through, I'm here, and I will be. And this is tremendously calming for me, regulating, because to me it means that there will be no attempt to fix it, to adjust it, to improve it, and that creates such a space for wholeness to emerge all by itself. There is a loving kindness meditation practice. It's called metta meditation. For me, it's a great way to connect with this observing self within me. And here's an adaptation of how it works. And some people like to do it with their eyes closed, and some people keep their eyes open. Just use your imagination in a way that works for you to think of someone in your life who loves you very, very much. They might be here with you today, or they might be in another city, or they may have passed on to another expression. And imagine that you're sitting with them as if having coffee. And while you are talking to each other, there is a message from your heart, from the self within that's radiating as if it's saying from your heart to theirs, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And then breathe that in. And imagine now you're sitting in front of a mirror, a spiritual type mirror, because the reflection you see in the mirror is not how you typically see yourself.
It's how the self within sees you. And as you sit and look in the mirror, you can sense this message from the self within to you, saying, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Now, the effects of this meditation, they are cumulative to me. So if you don't immediately feel compassion to your whole self and all the parts in you, might give it a chance, give it another time, because my experience is that every time I practice, it goes deeper and deeper. And I also want to say that even when I practice this meditation and I feel deeply connected to my wisdom self within, it doesn't always mean things go smoothly. Love, it turns out, is messy. Compassion is complicated. Kindness can still be a challenge, because all of them bring me to this point of vulnerability where there is an opportunity to accept my complicated self. A story I like to tell about this, well, I invite you to imagine the scene. Imagine that there is a music teacher who has a very enthusiastic student who isn't that good at music and isn't showing the kind of progress that would hope for. And the time comes where the student wants to advance further but needs a better instrument and more expensive music tuition. The parents need to make an investment in the education. What should the teacher do? What's the kindest, most ethical thing to do? To say nothing and carry on? Or to tell the truth? See, it's not a hypothetical situation. It happened to me. When I was a music teacher, I had a student who I had to find a way to share the news with him. Because his idea of what he could do in the music world, well, it wasn't matching my assessment as a professional of where this was going. Now, if he simply just wanted to be an amateur musician and have a good hobby, I could get behind that. That's one thing. But he wasn't going to be the kind of stage performer, according to me and my assessment, that he thought he was going to be. Now, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. That felt uncomfortable, vulnerable. I remember thinking to myself, you know what? It would be just easy to say nothing. I could do that. But that didn't feel right or complete. The whole situation was unsettling to me, and I could feel the vulnerability rising up because I couldn't see an easy way out. A part of me was so distressed because I had to admit something I was uncomfortable admitting. I don't really know his future. I don't know what the right choice is for him, or if he would make a miraculous sudden explosion of musical talent. I don't know. And then there's another part of me that just simply wants to please everybody. Can we all be happy? There's another part of me that just hates causing a disturbance, let alone witnessing disappointment in other people, especially when I think I had part of delivering the disappointing news. Do you know what I mean? And so I noticed all of this going on. And I paused and breathed and tried to sense the friend within, the self within. And I remember asking myself, how does this presence within see me right now? How does the self within see this student right now? How does the self within see this situation? How does this place of calm, clear compassion see. And the practice helped me. It helped me to have a conversation with the student that was authentic, difficult, kind-hearted, unskilled, messy, honest, and real. And we walked through it together. See, it wasn't easy, but it was real. So to me, vulnerability is about noticing what's going on inside and then being with it, being available to it, and accepting I may get hurt. I may hurt someone. I may get embarrassed, or I may embarrass someone. I could get rejected. And you see, I have in the past told myself that if I can just avoid all of those feelings, say an affirmation, I'll be safe, and the world will cooperate with my plan. But it turns out that is completely inaccurate. By avoiding some of the important conversations and the difficult feelings, I have caused more harm than help. I can think of examples. For example, once I avoided giving accurate feedback to an employee for all the reasons I've listed already. And it ended up that I was kind of leading the employee on by not telling them the truth. And to them, it seemed that I was acting one way, but thinking and feeling in another, and they were right. So instead of coming across as kind and professional, eventually they thought of me as insincere and harmful. I learned a lesson there. Vulnerability to me is about facing the nervousness that comes up when I know I must say something and I just don't want to. You know, it's like when you, me, the only one in the family that's not going to go along with something. The only one in your group of friends can't go along with something because it's just not right with your heart. And you got to find a way to address it, but every time you think about it, it all comes up. How can I get out of this? Perhaps it would be better if I just said nothing. Ooh. And so I find myself applying this practice more and more. If I notice that tendency to want to flee, or if I notice I'm feeling distressed, or whatever it is I notice, I try to pause. That's the trick. Pause. And breathe. And try to sense the friend within. And to talk to myself as if that presence is speaking to me from within, saying, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And this is the way that more and more I'm reconnecting with my wisdom center. Now, some people call it the self of the divine. And our Science of Mind teaching, we call it the thing itself, or the creative genius within. Emerson called it the oversoul. Whatever it is that you call it and sense it, reconnecting with it is a beautiful practice. Well, for me, it has helped me to remember its nature within me, and remembering that it is within me, constant, compassionate prayer. It helps me to say and do the difficult and uncomfortable things that are part of life. So the quest in life is not for easy, but for authentic. Here's another story about being true to your authentic self and how it can make things vulnerable by appearing not to work out the way it should. The author of the blog Tiny Buddha, her name is Linnea Barn, she had a corporate job, but she ran into a lot of trouble with it because in that job, according to her values, she treated people ethically and kindly. Her supervisor at the time did not approve of that because for him, he interpreted kindness as weakness. So he fired her, even though she was earning very, very strongly for the corporation. So her kindness left her vulnerable to being treated unfairly and unjustly. Now, I don't know about you, but I could see myself building a case against ever being kind again. But not her. It didn't stop her from following her heart because she knew she had to be kind. She had to be helpful. So she went on and volunteered to help refugees in Asia by teaching them how to develop small businesses to become economically self-sufficient because, and in her words, she said, every act of kindness changes the world and it's what makes my life significant. She had to be true to her heart, even though it introduced this vulnerability of being susceptible to injustice. Now, I like this story because it makes me nervous. And also courageous because in it is a lesson for me. There is a reminder in it for me that it is okay to feel the awkward messiness of not knowing, of uncertainty, of fear, of sadness, and to live by my spiritual values anyway, even if I'm unskilled. And it also reminds me to keep on training my mind to turn to the self within, to feel its presence, and to let it guide me.
Here for Edward. God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see,
Okay, this is the time that we consciously get to participate in the law of circulation. So as the ushers come forth, that you take your gift, your tithe in your hand, and just know that each one of us are open to our good. And as we receive, this good goes forth from us, blessing our world and all who are connected with us. And in that vulnerability, it comes back to us. So our affirmation today is, I am worthy of an abundant life, full of joy and happiness.
I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are blessings to the world. We are blessings to the world.
And as we share our blessings and they are received, they go forth, enhancing our community, our world, and the universe. And so it is.
I believe we're ready to claim our good. All right, so we'll read down these together and just really feel them as we say each one out loud into the ethers. I am paying attention in this moment. I am present and listening. I am alert and mindful. Listening helps me in all aspects of life, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed